Hello guys and welcome to this stream. So today we're going to go through a couple of things. I'm thinking about doing these in separate streams to separate them out a little bit. But we're going to dive into this article, which I think is just really funny considering, oh yeah, I got to do this. Share screen. Tab. It's the one. Okay. So basically, I saw this morning and I just could not believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it. And just before we get started, please hit that like button, because hitting that like button just it alerts people on their phone that there's a stream going on. So the more likes we get, the better audience we're going to get from this. So the funny thing is, I saw this on my phone this morning, and just real quick, actually, I just want to mention, going to be going to the Freedom Rally tomorrow in Calgary. Starts at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to live stream it, but I'm not going to live stream the speeches because I don't know what's going to be said, and I don't know whether it's going to be YouTube friendly. And I know this is the world we live in these days. But let's take a look at this article here. So, gutted, Edmonton business owners on Alberta ending cerveza sickness passports. Members of Edmonton's business community are confused, crestfallen, and cautiously optimistic about the end of Alberta's medicine mandate. So, the interesting thing here is I highlighted this. This is what one of the business owners said. It's a completely backwards way of operating, Harvey said. What they're doing is pandering to the unmedicated population that has given us the reason to have the REP program in the first place. Now, the interesting thing is, that is exactly what the government wants people to be like, is exactly that. Just blame the unmedicated people, and that will solve everything. And it creates this divisiveness. And that's kind of the reason I took the title of the stream, because there's another thing that's trending on Twitter, but I couldn't find it actually. And it's called the 90%. And the thing is, the 90%. So, I mean, basically, this thing that's trending on Twitter is, again, just the name of it, the 90%, it kind of tells you that there's that division there. You know, the thing is, all people should be treated equally, no matter what their medication status is, no matter what their skin color is, or where they're from, or what they believe in. We're all one Canada at the end of the day. And there is definitely a motive here from the government. It's coming from Justin Trudeau, and that is to divide people. And it's a sad, sad situation that we're in, because a lot of people are going to fall for this. They are going to read the media, the mainstream media, and you look at what comes up on your phone, it's articles like this. This was recommended to me by Google. So there you go. Like, what Google's recommending, I'm looking at, because I know other people are getting recommended the same thing. So it's kind of just insane. So let's dive back into it. So he said he would rather see the province keep the program and ease restrictions that have paralyzed businesses like his in the hospitality industry. Okay, I mean, that's his personal decision, but I mean, can't say, well, in Edmonton, I mean, would it hurt business in Calgary or Edmonton? I'm not too sure, because it feels like in the cities, especially in Alberta, there's more of a divide between people. And you always get that in cities. People are more to their own, they keep themselves to themselves and everything like that. But there definitely seems like more of a divide now than ever before. So it also says here, I do feel like this is a move in the right direction to getting back to some sort of normal. But there still is a sort of stress, he said. Is this 100% the right thing to do right now? Is this the last time we're going to be doing this? It definitely feels a bit like Groundhog Day. Yeah, it does. Totally agree. Groundhog Day is a great film. But the thing is, he is right. Like, I mean, it is a move in the right direction. But a lot of people are wondering, is this the right thing to do? The reason is because they're seeing so many different things. They don't know what is wrong and what is right. So, and you know what? I did not, and I'm going to switch it back to myself. I didn't realize this till the other day. But there's a, you know, it's a minority of people, but there's still quite a few people that like all the restrictions and everything that are in place. Now, I know to a lot of you that's going to sound bizarro. Believe me, it sounds to me, but it was actually, there's a reason behind it if you really think about it. Especially think about the people who moved away from the city and miles away from where they work. Do you think they want the restrictions to go? Because no, that means there's more of a chance that they're going to get called back to that office, which is a disaster for them, especially with the high gas prices and everything that's going on. And we're going to get into that in the next stream here. But it is kind of interesting, isn't it, when you really think about it, that there is a certain minority of people that would, like, it's in their interest, whether consciously or subconsciously, it's in their head that, hey, at the back of their mind, they kind of want these restrictions to still be in place. And the same for a lot of people who have anxiety about their looks, want to wear these face coverings all the time because they have anxiety for whatever reason. Those people also, but it's a personal choice. It's a decision. But the thing is, I definitely think there is definitely some people there who are kind of thinking, they don't realize there's a subconscious, it's all about interests at the end of the day for a lot of people. And you have to realize that a lot of the time. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I read this article and I was just kind of, I can believe it. But I've also highlighted this, so let's bring that up. So what is frustrating is the insistence on giving us no notice and putting us in a position where we have to increase it incessantly. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, so I sometimes muddle up words and spell things wrong and all the rest of it. Kind of pivot our business without any sort of direction or knowledge, she said. Giving businesses less than 7 hours to prepare for this felt cruel. Not even difficult, but cruel. As the co-owner of Action Potential Fitness, a boutique gym in West Edmonton, she's keeping an eye on Edmonton City Council, which is considering its own proof of medicine program. And I was actually shocked that Calgary didn't do the same. So it's kind of insane. Oh, we got someone in the chat. I'm going to bring this up. I haven't even read. I have 3. I'm part of the 90%. I support the end of the restrictions. People should have the choice unless they work in a field that has mandatory medicine policy in place prior to being hired. Yeah, I partly agree with that. You know, the thing is, it is a personal choice that people have to make and make for their family. And the government should never be dictating what should be said and shouldn't be said. I mean, that's the definition of propaganda. People should be able to make that decision for themselves. And I think that's the real problem here, is they're not being able to. And even with their doctor, at the end of the day, they should make that decision with their doctor. It shouldn't be the government saying, everybody needs to do this, especially children. I think it's going to age terribly how they have said, you know, children, because that they pose little to no risk of developing this in a severe way. So you have to kind of bear that in mind. And that's not medical advice, by the way. Always consult your doctor with your medical decisions, because that's what's really meant to be done. But let's go on to Twitter now, and I'll see if I can find this, because I couldn't find it before. So I gotta change my screen. Let's go. How have I got to do this? Oh, here we go. Share this tab instead. Here we go. Okay. So now we're on Twitter, and I'm going to take you to, I think, it was on here. There's lots of different things trending. It was called the 90%. But what concerns me about this is what people are saying is so divisive in this 90%. I just cannot believe it. And you go in the other side, which is like the Freedom Convoy, you don't hear any of that talk. It's the opposite. They want people to come together. So I know which side I would rather be on, but I want us to all be together in this, whether you're medicated, unmedicated, that is your decision to make. And it should always be that. I just reading a comment. I'm going to put that up on the screen. I know a few people that don't want the restrictions to go away simply because they jumped through all the hoops and obeyed the rules and are mad because people like me didn't, and there is no downside. That is very, very true. And I'll talk you through with some close members of family of that happening. I hear them all the time saying about how, oh, I've had it, so everybody else should have it type attitude, which is totally wrong. And I think they feel like they've been pressured to do it. So now everybody else has to do it because they were pressured to do it, which should never be the case, which is just kind of crazy. So let's try and find this, because what's this one? I am Canadian. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is like another similar thing that's trending. And bear in mind, that was the top of what was recommended to me on Twitter right now. So considering what I follow, the algorithm knows to pick things that are going to make me click on it, and things that are going to make me frustrated are making me more likely to click on it. That's how these algorithms work. Why do you think the news is always trying to grab your attention with those headlines? That's exactly why. They do the same thing on social media. So again, like we've got, I am Canadian. So I am Canadian. I am triple medicated. For my family, my neighbors, my co-workers, our healthcare workers, for my country, I will not be bullied. Who's bullying anybody? Nobody is bullying nobody from what I see. What's happening is they are protesting, and they're trying to get the government to sit at a table with them. And the government says no. And, a lot of people say it is costing a fortune, which it is. But, Rebel News, and I don't follow them all the time, but they've been covering this better than any news outlet in Canada. And they were even saying, made a good point. When the rail blockades were happening, look at the difference in how they reported that. And then that really gets the point across of how they're trying to divide everybody. So again, it's like, I will not be bullied. And I am Canadian suggests that what the other people aren't. This is the whole thing that I'm seeing here, is that it's all this divisiveness, and it all seems to go on this side, a lot of it. Because if we go, let's scroll down a bit more, and then we'll go to the other side and we'll criticize that side as well, because we have to be fair here. I'm trying to be fair. What else have we got? Again, look, this. So thanking the medicated truckers. Well, what about the unmedicated truckers? Like, how's that fair? That's not fair. That is literally separating people apart into minority groups. Even if they are a minority group, which they are a minority group, the unmedicated truckers, because we know from the statistics that they are. But how is that fair? The thing that people kind of don't realize is they're putting themselves on a slippery slope, because if you allow them to discriminate against this minority, soon it will come around and be you that they're discriminating against. And let me give an example, and it's going to be like made up. I'm looking for the word for that, but I can't think of it. But anyway, like, imagine in the future, they say that all gasoline and diesel powered cars are banned. You can't drive them anymore. If you drive them, you will get fined. And if you don't pay the fines, you'll go to jail. And you are in the position and you can't afford an electric car. Is that fair? Is that fair? And another thing that I've said before is a CDC study came out about obesity and the cerveza sickness. So should we shut down all the McDonald's? Should we ban everything with fat in it? Like, where does it end? And this is the point. These restrictions are getting more restrictive as they've gone on. They're not getting less restrictive like they said they would. So you do have to ask these questions. You do have to look down the road, because when does it stop? When does it stop? Because I just believe, no, you should let people choose. The reason the healthcare system is under so much strain is because healthcare workers are exhausted. But this was a problem here, at least in Alberta, way before the cerveza sickness started. So it's kind of crazy. My God, that won't age very well. But yeah, let's go on to the other side before I lose the will to live. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look at this. I stand with Free Canada. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like bullying, doesn't it? See, I mean, Free Canada, ending mandates. Like, is this such a tall order to ask? Sorry, guys, I didn't blow it up. And he's declared a state of emergency. Yeah, I mean, have you seen what's going on? I mean, what's going on the Ambassador Bridge is a major issue for the economy. So you think they would sit down at a table with them, but no, they still want to vilify them. And I think with the world watching this, they know that. So they're treading very carefully. If you didn't see it, Coots, yesterday, basically at Coots, what happened was the RCMP came down. They ticketed a bunch of people, but they said that nobody will be arrested. So they are, and they made that clear that nobody was going to be arrested. So it's kind of clear to me that they are definitely doing this in some sort of way that is very tread carefully, because they know people are watching this. Trudeau just straight up threatened the Canadian citizens. Dictatorship ends now. Hold the line. Take a look at what's happening around the world. This is true. And if you haven't seen the video of I think he was 80-year-old or something like that, being cuffed and manhandled by police in Ottawa, then go and watch that, because I mean, that's just absolutely insane, in my opinion. Canada is a land which deserves to be united, strong, and free. Who can disagree with that? Who can disagree with that? Again, this is all about unity. It's all about freedom. It's not about dividing. But on the other side, those people who are on that side, for right or wrong, they are divided. They're extremely divided. And why is that? Who is spinning that narrative round? It is the government and the media, and they should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. And yeah, I mean, it goes on and on and on. So at Ford Nation, anytime someone disagrees with you, you can now just whip up a state of emergency to end it. This sounds like a police state. Did you even talk to any of the protest? Sounds like you want to be the only one closing businesses. It's very true, you know, and we will kind of end it here, but it's very true that because the government has been shutting down the economy, costing billions. I think it's over $1 trillion that it costs to shut down the economy. And they're now complaining that there are people protesting. They just want an end to this, and it's costing lots of money. But yet they refuse to sit down with the people. They vilify the people. And this is the worst. In some ways, this is the best and worst time in Canadian history. It's the worst time for politics in Canada because it's showing how Canada is not a place where you can come and it's all about equality, because that's just not true. Because if they do this for this, it's like I said, you're on a slippery slope for other minority groups, and it might not be based on gender or race or anything like that, but it might be based on, hey, whether you have a gasoline powered car or whether you fly too often in the view of the government. I mean, how far do you want to go? It's just kind of insane. But what I'm going to do now, guys, I'll end this stream and then we'll go through a stream on the markets, just so, because today has been kind of an incredible U-turn in the markets compared to the other day. So it's been quite interesting. Oh, I'll just put this comment up. Let's read this. The people that choose not to get medicated should not be further penalized if the restrictions are dropped. Everyone ultimately made their own choice for many different reasons. Yeah, I totally agree with that, D. Trent. The thing is, a lot of people, I think that, and look at my shirt. It's absolutely, I mean, I'm sorry it's so messed up. I need to get a new one. But I got this shirt actually just before I came to Canada. But the thing is, it is like, it's kind of insane. It is people's own decision. It's their own choice. And yeah, we're literally seeing this play out in front of our eyes now. And it's just kind of a crazy time that we live in. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this stream here and I'm going to do one on the market. So I'll see you there. I'll be 1 p.m. Mountain time. Well, not 1 p.m., probably 1:30 p.m. Mountain time. I'll be starting my live stream off tomorrow, which will be streaming what's going on in Calgary. And there was 15,000 people there last week. Let's see how many people. I thought there would be less this week because of the announcement the government has made, but who knows with this. Hopefully there's more. That would be awesome. March around the Freedom Mile, show you how dead and empty downtown Calgary is. I mean, the times where I've seen it the busiest are during these protests, so it's kind of hilarious. But anyway, I'll do the next live stream now on the markets, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.